Welcome back, guys. Today I'm gonna teach you about vectors in Java. It's a part of the collection framework in Java. A vector is like the dynamic array which can grow or shrink in size. Unlike array, we can store number of elements in it as there is no size limit. It is a part of the Java collection framework since Java 1.2. It is found in the Java util package and implements the list interface. So we can use all methods of list interface here in vectors. It is similar to the array list but with two differences. Vector is synchronized and the Java vector contains many legacy methods that are not part of the collections framework. So the vector is very different. It's synchronized and it contains many legacy methods that are not part of the collections framework. Vector came in Java 1.2 and it is found in the java.util package and it implements the list interface. We can add many elements to the vector because it does not have a size limit. It is similar to the array list but it's very different from the array list. Now we'll see the add method in vectors. First of all, let's create a class called class main, and inside it we'll have our main method, and inside it we'll declare vector like this, and it imports the java.util.vector, and we'll give this a type as string. We'll call this vector and we'll make it equal to new vector. And now we'll add some values to the string vector. Vector dot add, and inside it we'll give some strings. We'll say tiger vector dot add lion vector dot add panther, and after that there's the other method which is vector dot add element, and here also we'll give firstly cat, and next we'll give vector dot add element cheetah, and after that we'll give another vector element vector dot add element, and we'll give this time cobra. Alright, now let's print this out and check the output. We'll print the vector and see the output. Okay, we got our values tiger, lion, panther, cat, cheetah and cobra printed inside the console. That means by add and add element methods we can add values to our vector. That's what this does. Now we'll see the capacity and size methods in work. We say sout and print vector dot size, and after that let's print out our vector again, and after that we say sout and print vector dot capacity. Now let's run this and check the output. We got tiger, lion, panther, cat, cheetah, cobra printed, then the size as 6, and again tiger, lion, panther, cat, cheetah, cobra printed, and the capacity as 10. That's what these two methods do in Java vectors. Now we'll see some other methods. We'll have a if, and inside it we say vector dot contains is another method, and we'll declare tiger inside it, and let's have a sout printed if the vector contains a tiger. We say tiger is in index, and we say vector dot index of, and we'll give tiger inside it. If the vector contains tiger, it will give the index of the tiger in this word. We got tiger is in index 0 because the vector contains tiger and the tiger is in index 0. Let's change the contains to another value and check the output. We say cat, and we'll check the index of cat. And let's check the output. We got tiger is in index 3. There was an error. We must have cat here. We'll say cat is in index, and let's check the output. It says cat is in index 3. So likewise, the correct position of cat was provided to us because the vector contained cat. Alright, now we'll see two more methods for vectors. We'll comment this out and we'll say sout, and inside it we'll give vector dot first element, and another sout, and we say vector dot last element. And now let's print this out and check the example. We got the first element as tiger and the last element as cobra as expected. So because tiger was the first element, we got tiger, and because cobra was the last element, we got cobra when we ran this code. That's what happened with these first element and last element methods. Now we'll see another example for vectors. We have created a class here called class main, and we have declared the main method, and after that we have declared a vector called integer of integer type called in, and we have added 100, 200, 300, 200, 400, 500, 600 and 700 as elements, and after that we have printed the vector, and after that we have removed vectors integer 200, and after that we have written the vector again, and after that we have removed the element of index 4, and we have printed the vector again, and after that we have removed the element at 5, and we have printed the vector again, and finally we have written the hash code of our vector, and we have in the last sout found the in.get method to get the first index of the vector collection. Now let's see the output for this code. We got values in vector as all the values, and the remove first occurrence of element true 200 as true, and the values in vector again printed, and the removed element at index 4 printed 500 was removed, and the new value list in the vector printed the vector again, and vector element after removal was shown with 100, 300, 200, 400 and 600 without 700, and the hash code of the vector was given as this value, and the element at index 1 is 300 as expected. That's how this code works when we use methods inside our vector. Now we see two more methods for our vector. This time we say sout and say in dot clone, and after that we'll have in dot clear. Let's check the output when we put this code. We got 100, 200, 400, 500, 600, 7, which is the clone of this vector. And let's check the output after clear. We'll print the vector again. After clear, we can see that the vector has been removed and its elements have been removed. So it shows a empty row without elements. Now we'll see another method for vectors. We say if in dot is empty, and after that if it's empty we'll print empty, and after that we'll give else as well, and we'll say sout not empty. And now let's print this and check the output. We got not empty as for real, as what we expected. Now let's modify this code. We'll say in dot clear and check the results of this in dot is empty right now. This time, because the vector was cleared, we got empty. That's what happened in this code example when we use the isEmpty method. Alright, now we'll use the iterator for this example. We'll make an iterator of type integer and call it I and make it equal to in dot iterator. And next thing, we'll have a while loop saying I dot has next, and after that inside we'll have an sout saying I dot next. Now let's run this and check the output. We got all our values printed from 100 to 700 was printed using this output using the Iterator method. Now we'll see the set and get method for vectors. We'll have our in dot set and we'll give the index 0 the value 221, and we'll print an sout saying in dot get element 0, and after that we'll print our vector again. Now let's check the output. We got 221 as the first element of index 0. So 100 was replaced by 221, and after that the next line printed our vector again with the number 100 changed to 221 from our set method. That's what we did here in this example. Now we'll use the remove and remove all methods for our vector. First of all, we'll see sout and we'll say in dot remove and we'll give 200, and after that we'll print out the vector again, and finally we'll say sout and we will say in dot remove all and give our vector to it, and finally we'll have an sout that prints our vector again. Now let's run this and check the output. We got an error, array index out of range. What's wrong here is we haven't given the index as the index that belongs to this vector, an index that belongs to this vector. 200 is not an index of our vector, so we got this error. We'll give our index as 4. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we'll remove 400 this time. Now we'll run this and check the output. We got 400 removed, and after that the vector was printed without the fourth element 400. And after that remover removed all the elements from our vector, and we got a blank answer, an empty answer for our vector list. That's what happened here. Now we'll see the toString method inside our vector. We'll say sout and we'll have in.toString, and let's print this and check the output. We got our vector printed in order 100, 200, 300, 200, 400, 500, 600 and 700 was printed right in the order they were given. So the toString gives a string example of our values. That's what happened here. Alright, now I have taught you about the vector collection in the collection framework of Java. I have taught you that we can have many methods for our vector class, and that we can provide types to our vector and implement it. I have shown you methods associated with the vector class, and the vector is a synchronized collection that has no data limit, and it prints the values in the order we give them, and it gives even duplicate values as values for its vector collection. So this is the end for today's lesson, and I'll see you in another lesson another day, and I'll come back with a collection framework lesson another day. Until then, goodbye guys, and please take care.